Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. You know, I've been trying not to go political on y'all, but I really can't help it. 'Tis the season for the idiots, and we have them debating each other. Oh, I tell you what, they blow me away. And we have those that want to take away our guns because they kill babies. Well, no, guns don't kill babies. The person at the other end of the gun kills the babies. And I got two problems with that. One is when y'all pushed, meaning the ones that want to take our guns and whatnot, none of y'all take this directly at y'all when I say you or y'all. When y'all start taking God out of everything and out of our lives, what did you think would happen? Now you explain to me how y'all can endorse killing babies in the womb. Unborn lives are being just wasted, and yet you're worried about a kid getting shot with a gun. Really? Does that make any sense? Am I the only one that's seeing this? We think it's okay to kill an unborn baby, but if a gun does it, guns are bad. Well, then aren't your doctors that are killing babies bad? They are in my book. They just busted someone. All right, no, they didn't bust them. Let me rephrase that. They just found 2,000 fetuses, babies, aborted children in an abortion doctor's house after he died. He had had his license pulled in like 2015. And they was pulled because he had aborted a baby and a 13-year-old girl and didn't tell nobody, didn't report it. And that cost him his license. You know, when he passes away, they find 2,000 babies in his house. That right there tells you he was a sick puppy. And I'll go along with to extend on that. And in my opinion, if you're ripping living babies out of a womb, you're a sick puppy. It's a mass murder. That's how I see it. But you're worried about my guns. I think you need to be worried about your doctors in your head. Because if you find this okay, something's wrong with you. You want to take the guns. Well, why don't you go to some of these big cities, Chicago, LA, New Orleans, St. Louis, New York. Go to some of these big cities where they have a lot of shootings going on. But why don't you take their guns first? Do a little trial run, a little test run there. See how that works out for you. You will find out if you try to do that here. The results will be the same as in Australia and other countries that did this buyback. And the honest folks would turn theirs in because they want to be honest, law-abiding folks. Your criminals are going to keep theirs. So now you're putting your honest people in a worse predicament. Really? Y'all need to think about some of this nonsense that they're spewing and doing. Alright? You have a problem with the word illegal. You've come up with undocumented and, oh, I can't think of what all right now. Guess what? If you don't come into the country by the proper channels, you're illegal. And Lord forbid you to call them a criminal. Well, guess what? If you broke a law sneaking into our country illegal, you're a criminal. And I don't care how long you stay here and get by with it, when you get caught, your ass needs to go back where you came from. Oh, but we're destroying the families. We're tearing the families apart. Yeah? But what happens to any American when they break the laws? They get shipped off to jail. And we have those that dodge the legal system for quite a while. But eventually they get caught. How come you're not screaming about their families being destroyed? How come it's just those that came in illegally? Illegal is illegal. I don't care if you snuck in or if you're a U.S. citizen that broke the law and running from the law. Illegal is illegal. And when you get caught, you face the consequences. If there's a counter damage by the family getting hurt, sorry. You was associated with a criminal, whether that was willingly associated or whatever. These are the consequences. And the border wall. I didn't research it to see if it was true or not. I seen a little post that said that Obama's administration paid to Canada, some Canadian people, more money to build a website for Obamacare that did not work, paid more money than Trump's asking for the wall. And yet there wasn't a problem with that, but there's a problem with the wall. What's your problem with the wall? I mean, honestly, what's the problem with the wall? Why do you not want our nation to be secure and safe? What is it you don't like about us Americans that since you got voted into office, that you don't care about our safety? The majority of you, and I'm talking to the elected idiots, the majority of you live behind a wall. And you have guns that protect you. Not on your person, I'm sure. But you have hired help, whether it's government agency or private. You have hired help that protects you, that has guns. But yet you're going to tell us you want our guns because they're not safe. Why is your safety more important than my safety? Huh? A lot of this nonsense don't make sense to me. There was something else I was wanting to bring up. Right now it's escaping me. I hate it when that happens. A lot of stuff I was thinking about today. And I'll tell you something else that gets my goat. All these athletes and these Hollywood stars, y'all need to shut the hell up. Do your damn job. And your job is not try to tell the rest of us how we should think and vote. Y'all don't even live in the real world. When you're up there making the millions of dollars and you have 2 or 3 multi-million-dollar homes and you own private islands and you have your own jets and you spend more on a damn party than most of us make in a year, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear you. Get a real job for a while. Just walk away from your money. Leave it in a bank account somewhere. Walk away from it and live off of what us Americans make. Get a regular 9 to 5 for a little bit. Not only can you not do it, you won't do it. Because you're used to that cushiony life you live. Well, the rest of us don't have it. And y'all knock off the nonsense with all this racist bullshit. You know who's racist? All you idiots yelling racist nonsense. Guess what? There was white slaves too in Europe. Guess what? Black people owned slaves. There was black slaves in Africa before the black people started selling other black people to the slave market. And in the big picture of the history of slavery, the little time that there was slaves in the U.S. ain't even a drop in the bucket. Guess what? They're still slaves. All these Muslims that you're wanting to protect, they got slaves today. And there's been some busted right here in the USA. How come I didn't hear about that? Where's your righteous anger over that stuff? And why is it that although slavery was bad, and I'll give you it was bad, but how come you didn't have nothing to do with slavery, neither did I, but you think if I pay you money, you'll be better off because of slavery? Really? I got news for you. I have no intention of paying nobody for no damn slavery nonsense. I didn't own no slaves. I didn't steal no land from the Indians. I didn't attack Mexico or steal land or whatever was supposed to done to them. All that's in our past. How can we move forward if y'all want to live in the past? Oh, but wait, you only want to drag that past, drag it out whenever it does you good, or you think it will. Folks, this is the kind of stuff you need to think about as this election year is coming around. And it's coming around. And you need to really stop and think about the nonsense these people are feeding us. You need to stop and think about the nonsense that they're wanting to put into work. Is Trump a perfect man? No. Has Trump made mistakes? Of course. But I got news for you. On his worst day, he is better than most of these idiot Democrats that are running, that wants to give full medical to all the illegals. We ain't even taking care of our veterans. They want to give them all kinds of food stamps and housing and all that. We've got our own homeless people on the streets. We ain't even taking care of them. But yet you want to get these others in. Why? You want to take care of them so well. Why? Do you think that has to do with anything called a voting base? And this socialist nonsense. You kids that are pushing for this and you think you're going to get free stuff, you're not going to get what you want if it happens, and it won't happen. You need to really study on some of the socialist countries. I tell you how it works real easy. They steal more and more from us working class. We get pissed off and quit working. They're going to start dividing everything up. You know how they do that? They give you a ration card. And you go stand in a mile-long line at the grocery store and hope there's a loaf of bread left for you when you get there. And there probably won't be. All the real money that they're stealing from us working class, they skim that off the top and they divide it amongst themselves. You're mad at the rich people now? Guess what? Socialism puts that into a whole different category. All you have is the ultra rich that is stealing from you and I, and you got us poor dumbasses down here working. You need to do some real studying on your socialism. You'll find out it wasn't the cream that you thought it was. And along with that, check out how many people starved to death because of socialism. And that was one of the government's easiest ways of killing off a lot of people. They just didn't send them food because you just gave control of everything to the government and they wouldn't send them food. They're out there breaking their backs trying to farm, and the government comes in and takes everything. Takes it. Who was it? China, I think? That their government was doing that, taking all this stuff, and they was selling it to the rest of the world, trying to put up this false pretense about how good they was doing. And while they're selling all this stuff on the world market and pocketing the money, their people are starving to death. It's a cold, hard fact. It ain't what you think. For those of you that are young enough, you need to educate yourself. For those of you that are old enough, you need to remind yourself. That's all I got for you tonight. My dinner's ready and I'm hungry. Y'all remember, God loves you, so do I. Your politicians, I'd be questioning that, raising an eyebrow and seeing what they're really up to. Because it ain't what you think. Y'all have a blessed evening now.